Now, off their heads and behind the wheel, they're the drivers high on drugs and thinking they won't get caught. Well, we join the special police crackdown, saving lives on our roads.
You never know who's going to drive in and what you may have when they drive in.
Done a drug test before?
It's come up positive.
Your cannabis, your meth, your speed, your eckies, all that sort of stuff.
Just run that the length of your tongue. Big lick, like licking an ice cream.
Busted. They've tested positive for drugs.
And the inside line shows up whether it's positive.
We'll have to do a second test in the truck, so jump out for us.
And now the walk of shame.
We tested positive for cannabis.
We take drug driving as seriously as we do drink driving.
A current affair is roadside with the specialist police drug detection unit targeting stoned drivers.
Found a small tin of green vegetable matter or cannabis.
That's it there.
That's it there, yes.
It's not long before officers find what they're looking for, and just wait till you hear the stories drivers offer up.
So, Jared, what happened?
Just driving back from watching my kids at the pool, and the police bus just happened to be here and got pulled in.
Once they've tested positive, for legal reasons we can't show you their faces.
It's tested positive for something, has it? Or?
Apparently.
Do you know what?
Marijuana.
Do you think that's about right, or?
Yeah.
Right.
So I would have had my last one about 3 o'clock in the morning last night. So.
You thought you were okay to drive, though?
Yeah, I thought so.
Open your mouth.
But as you'll soon see, he's far from it. Jared gives police another sample.
It's come up positive for cannabis. Okay.
So does that mean I'm getting charged?
He'll have to wait several weeks to find out any penalty, while his sample is sent for a final check in the lab.
What happened?
Well, so far the both results have come back with a positive.
It's a drill he knows too well.
Is this the first time this sort of thing's happened?
No, this is the second time for me. The first time they got me good and proper, but I knew I was gone because I had one just before I got in the car. This time I thought I would have been safe because I stopped smoking at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Date of birth?
He's not the only parent driving drug affected.
Just doing the school run.
James was about to pick up his daughter from school and admits the result is no surprise.
Yeah, it's come back positive.
For?
Cannabis.
Does that sound about right to you, or are you a bit surprised with that?
No, it's probably about right. This was hours ago when I had it, but it could come up positive still.
You thought you were okay to drive, though? You felt all right to drive?
Well, I've been asleep all day, so it was 12 o'clock when I had it, so yeah.
So, James, what happened there with the secondary test?
Came up positive.
Do you feel okay to drive, though?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I've been asleep for the last 3 hours, so.
So what are you going to do now when you can't drive for a while?
Walk home.
South Australia's Chief Traffic Cop Superintendent Bob Fowler says the rate of drug detection has been increasing for the last 3 years.
In part that's because of the dedicated resources that we have to it. They develop expertise.
Good afternoon, how are you going?
Well, what we can tell you is that over the last 5 years, 23% of all drivers and riders that have been involved in fatalities on South Australian roads have had one or a combination of these 3 prescribed drugs in their bloodstream. So we don't need any more evidence than that. We're in the business of saving lives on South Australia's roads, and we know that if we can reduce this drug driving, people's lives will be saved.
The whole reason you take a drug is to alter your perception. The one place you don't want to have your perception altered is behind the wheel of a car.
Paul Dillon, Director of Drug and Alcohol Research and Training Australia, says there's no doubt about the dangers of drug driving.
What we know is that driving stoned increases the chance of a car accident by about 300%.
Not only has this driver been caught with drugs in his system, police notice he's got more to hide.
As he was getting out of the car, my offside I saw him hide something under his seat. He was carrying a jersey. And we carried out a search on him and found a small tin of green vegetable matter or cannabis.
That's it there?
That's it there, yes.
Does it ever surprise you how many drivers test positive for drugs when they drive?
Well, yes, it does actually. There's quite a few.
Senior Constable Jeff Cooling believes too many drivers think it's safe to drive under the influence of drugs.
Well, I think a lot of the youngsters are under the perception that with alcohol they're going to get caught, so they go to the second option, drugs.
So those who might be thinking my chances of getting caught by drink driving are high, so I'm going to start using drugs, then this type of activity will warn them that they will get caught for those type of offences as well.
It's going to change the way you decide when you're going to drive, isn't it?
Well, if my missus has any choice, I wouldn't be having her at all.
Can't keep getting caught like this, can you?
No, not when you've got a family to look after as well. Good when you're 16, but not good when you're 30-odd.
Frightening, and it will take a month before the final lab results are in. Drivers who tested positive have to either face court or pay a fine.